And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the quarterfinals. Welcome back to the quarterfinals here of the WardiTV Monday. We are jumping into our PvT and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Taiwanese Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss. It is Lemon. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our fresh best of 3. Coming into this, ByuN is going to be coming in as the favorite player, but Lemon is definitely a caliber of player that can threaten ByuN, that can take maps, can take series, and we'll see. We'll see if he can pose that threat and pull that off here and now when it matters most. Oh boy. Lemon has a nice warm-up after facing off against Eba. Meanwhile, I do have confirmation that the rest of the bracket is slowly progressing and the initial round has concluded. We mentioned earlier that there was a part of the bracket that was slowing down a little bit, but no, it has wrapped up. So the bracket is progressing nicely. No delays. A little bit of delay. So now we have a single gas opener out of ByuN. ByuN going for a faster CC on the low ground, going for the greater economy. Setting up. And so it is CC on the low ground. Likewise, we do have our factories being set up as well. So again, just standard economic opener here out of ByuN. From here, we should be seeing a Twilight Council. We'll keep an eye on the tech of choice here from Lemon. ByuN forced to expand a little bit off center, but it's all good. You can, of course, lift and land and get settle on in. So a slightly delayed economy here for ByuN, only slightly. Oh, as we are opening up with a Tech Lab first. Earlier Tech Lab here into early add-on swap into early Cyclone. So defensive Cyclone here out of ByuN. Meanwhile, we have a tech of choice. It is going to be the Twilight Council out of Lemon. Let's open up. Gates are being turned down. So we have our 3-gate blink set up here out of Lemon. Everything so far looking as it should be. We could see extra gases taken of Robo as well. We could delay the third base even longer, which is more standard nowadays to go for a delayed third. But against a more economic start, I would say the Lemon, he can get away with some more greed here. And speaking of, there it is. Bird moves out, will expand. So Lemon setting up for the expansion. Goose Nation does try to break on through. Dealt with a mine. He's going to be dealt with. ByuN also moving out with his own drop. He's moving out. Threatening a dive into the natural. Not quite able to get in. Lemon is ready. Does go for the Robo after the third. Will pick up a pylon. You see ByuN ideally trying to bait the army into the Widowmine. Speaking of, gets a sentry. Sentry goes down. ByuN dropping back in. Lemon's in position. Nice setup. Very nice. Yeah, comes in for the surround. The drop is going to be trapped. And won't go down yet, but does take a lot of hits. Takes a lot of hits, a lot of damage. No damage is dealt. Behind this charge going to be on the way. And ByuN doubling down, going for early tank production and early Banshee play. Okay. This looks like we're moving out. We're going for an early move out. ByuN is setting up. Tanks are amassing. ByuN, he is building up his upgrades. Okay, so working towards Stim. Stim is on the way. Getting to +1. So ByuN turtling up back at home. And we're settling into our game. We're settling on in. We have Lemon gaining map control. This would be his time to start taking up, taking more expansions, getting into a 4th base, building up his own economy. And ideally slowing down any kind of push. And again, ByuN, he shouldn't move out without Stim. Still a little bit of a ways away. Lemon not going into charge. Sorry, not going into Storm is what I meant to say. Going into Colossus. Phase on the way for Colossus. Let's go. Building up into Colossus. You can see ByuN trying to catch out the Stalkers. Does siege up. And we'll catch him. Yeah, nicely done. Gets one. Takes out one Stalker. Nice catch here from ByuN. Lemon caught with his pants down. Now ByuN is expanding. 3rd CC is on the way. He does push. Stim is almost complete. Oh, catching out another Stalker. And another. That's 3 Stalkers going down. Every Stalker counts. So a really rough start here for Lemon. ByuN just keeps on going. Catching out another Stalker goes down. Drop into the natural. Once again, we do see Lemon distracted. ByuN is moving in. He's going for the 3rd. Lemon, he's set up a first round. But I don't think he has enough though. Elbows aren't quite there. D-powers a shield battery. Zelse collapsing from behind, getting himself with the tanks. A little bit of miscontrol there. Does miss target fire. He does get 1, 2, or 3 tanks go down. Whew. Lemon holds. Lemon, he's holding on. He's surviving. Cleans up all the tanks, deflects his opponent. We got a game. We got some StarCraft. Trying to poke out. So far, with enough Colossus and now with Storm finishing up, Lemony should be able to defend 4 bases. We spoke about this before plenty of times, but welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the more defensive maps in the map pool, and it can be very difficult to break a player on 4 bases. So we're locked in for the long haul. Like we, from here we can expand, we can get our 4th bases. I will say that the 4th base is late for Lemon. True, so late 4th base. Will slow him down. Ideally, Lemon does want the greater economy. 4th CC now on the way for ByuN. As we're building up, Lemon now taking as well in towards TTs. They're getting access to our Templar, just securing his main army, and we're building up into a longer game stand. Now, if you remember, we were here yesterday as well during Sparkling Tuna Cup, and we saw Creator was able to, in this moment, rush into tech, rush into a fleet beacon, rush into Stargate, rush into mass carrier, and completely catch ByuN off guard. It was a really big risk the creator took, but he was able to pull it off. Here, we don't really see such a risk occurring. We have a massive gateway explosion, throwing down 8 more gateways instead. So Lemon, he's not really thinking about sky toss, he is focusing on his ground army instead. Not saying that this can't work, just saying that this is a different approach. Different approach here from Lemon, as opposed to what creator went for. And ByuN is going to be a lot more comfortable against it. So he'll be much more comfortable against a ground-focused army that he can face up against. Pulling away. Getting his own 4th. ByuN is going to be the first to max out. As we mentioned, Lemon, his 4th base was late, his 5th base is late. Lemon is in a rough position here, and we'll see if we can buy some time. A lot of this is going to come down to the storms. Likewise, it'll come down to the APs as well. How many had Templar? 5, 6. So 6 Templar. We've got to look after them. Vikings are building up. ByuN backs off. Lemon, who'll have the opportunity to build up as well. Throwing down 6 more. Gee, how many gates is he getting? He's got 18 already. Okay. Let's go. Building up even more gates. Second robo's on the way. I feel like that should have been prioritized a little bit sooner. Second robo into disruptors. So the production and tech is a little bit shaky here for Lemon. We have been skipping warpins. There we go. So 13 Dark Templar. That's Jesus. There they are. Looking with the DTs. We are rallying across the map. Rallying across. Nice EMPs. First Colossus does go down. We need those storms. We get one flanking storm. Just the one. Yeah, Colossus, they just get hunted down. And Lemon, he doesn't really have much of an army here. Even with these storms, it's just so Marauder heavy. He can just tank the storms. Oof. EMP's popping up. Panic Storm. Yeah, some Panic Storms here and there, but the final 2 storms do connect. And if only we had one more. It's so close. Uno más, papi. Uno más. At the same time, Zealots are going crazy. Sorry, DT is going crazy. 21. Another storm connects. 21 SCVs. And Lemon with the power of Dark Templar. Killed the CC. Yeah, he killed the planetary, got the mineral line. ByuN, he believed that he could break through. I believed as well, but no, Lemon, he barely held on, barely survived. With that final storm. Let's go, Bobby, let's go. And here comes that DT hit squad. He's looking for another expansion. He wants it. Get spotted. ByuN, he can react. He can respond. Lemon is rebuilding his army. Now, this was an expensive loss for Lemon. As you can see here, Lemon, he has 0 High Templar. He has 0 Templar left. He's making 2 Colossus at a time. He has no storms currently. There we go, warping in 6 High Templar. So he's regaining his High Templar count, and he needs time for those storms. He needs time for that energy. You can see them moving once again. Get the hell out of here. Do blink away. ByuN, he's on notice. Is on notice. Oh, does he? Oh, he does see. Yeah, he does see. Does scan. Doesn't quite catch the Dark Templar. They do blink away. You can see ByuN in position. And Stuck taking more defensive stance because of these Dark Templar. They're giving Lemon so much time. Lemon is still not maxed though, which is my big concern. Still building up. He does get 1 ghost. 2. Okay. Takes down 2 ghosts. Does blink away. At the same time, the main army's moving in. ByuN out of position. He has reinforcements. Okay, he does have reinforcements. Here come the storms. Nice EMP. 1 storm lands. Another one does graze the army. Takes down a couple of ghosts. Lemon has to pull away. DTs are moving back in. Lemon, he will lose both Colossus. Brutal losses there for Lemon. One Colossus left. DT does not go for the turret. Yeah, DT's on A move. Yeah, they're stuck on A move here, so a rough fight here for Lemon. Better storms. Oh, Jesus. God, does take the storms to the face. But those are the final storms. Uh-oh. Yeah, those are the only storms for Lemon. He needs more High Templar. They're just now morphing in. Going in between the bases. Catching a couple of Marauders. Trying to bust into the bases. He's getting caught out there, force a recall. Lemon, he can snipe the Ghost Academy, not bad. That was the only Academy. Nice storm. We're getting messy. We're getting very messy here. ByuN still stuck on 4 bases, but he is maintaining the economy. Lemon, meanwhile, is missing Warpins. Remember, he's on, what, 25 gates? He's on 28 gateways. We need those Warpins. This could get a little bit awkward. As the Mist Rally, no! Okay, no, he does notice. Thankfully. He does notice, he gets the hell out of there, does pull away. Thankfully. Does pull away, snipes moving up. His way through, trying to. Solid control. He defends back at home. He's going for the planetary. One more volley. Ah, it doesn't quite get it. Barely not. Storm's not quite connecting. Templar getting impeded. There's one Templar left, no storms. And you can see without storm, without splash, without disruptors even, we need something here to work with. That's what the Zealots are for. Charge also doing what they can. The ghosts are exposed. Can you take down all the ghosts? Ah, there's 4 left. Oh, not quite. Yeah, not quite. Not enough Zealots. And again, not enough splash damage either. I will say that the Viking count is low enough where Vikings are a little bit more viable again. Sorry, Colossus, I should say, are more viable again just because of the low Viking count. Lemon going for the counterattack. It's important here that ByuN, he does take an expansion. Fresh mining base. Lemon can't let that happen. As he's moving in though, ByuN is racing back home. We get an okay storm on the Marauders. Okay, Stalkers have to get the hell out of here. Does try to pull out. Let's try to. Likewise, probes going down. Can he get on top of the planetary though? It's going to be close. There's a lot of repairs. Yeah, a lot of repairs happening, but the planetary looks like will go down. Okay, Lemon popping off. Takes out the planetary, resets the Viking count. What do we do with that though? What's the plan? Lemon coming in from behind. And what are we going for? The answer is catching out some of the Marauders. But there's just so many Marauders back at home. Yeah, this won't be worth it. Zealots are going down. Lemon pushing in. Again, he's just been so active. Like, I have to give credit here to Lemon. He's been so active and so aggressive. With his army moving the entire game. Here dives on the planetary. Oh, what a mess! Barely gets a chance to get the hell out of here. Does pull away. Zoning storms. Lemony should not stick around. Oh, that was a little bit wasteful with those storms. That's a lot of Templar going down. That's a lot of Templar. Minus Ray Force as well. Lemon, he does have bottom right, somewhat. ByuN still has a pretty formidable army as well. Like, the main army is terrifying. Meanwhile, we do see another CC being taken. Gets the mineral line. Do we recall? Does he have a recall? Oh god. He's gonna try to walk out. It's not gonna happen. There's an Archon. Bottom right is falling. Now we see the recall. But despite that, we'll still lose the expansion. Recall was denied. ByuN, he actually does lose a big chunk of his army. Uh-oh. ByuN's gonna be careful. Again, Lemony has 3 armies. He has one on the right, 3 forces. One on the right, one on the left, one in the center. Is bringing everything together there. The Stalker's getting caught out. Yeah, he's gonna get sandwiched. Stalkers, they should not be here. Those are expensive losses. Expensive losses there for Lemon. Doing what, 6 Stalkers. Lemon trying to move back in. He's maxed out. And Lemon, he might have still just done this. Like, so much of this game is predicating on the fact that ByuN can't expand. Like, ByuN, he's running out of money. He's running out of money here at the 3rd, running out of money at the 4th base as well. If ByuN can't expand, that's game. That's just going to be game then and there. Now, recall's on cooldown, so Lemon, he can't respond to this. He will lose an expansion. At the same time, he dives in. Trades a base for a base. You could make an argument that this base is more valuable for ByuN. Lemon, he can fight this. To be honest, he can fight this. He backs off. He respects it. I would say a little bit too much. Nope. Leading out Stalkers. Leading out High Templar. Lemon retaking bottom right. He goes off. But again, with this many Zealots, the Colossus can be saved, but he's going to lose one of them. One Colossus goes down. Zealots are charging in. The Colossus doing a lot of damage to the back line. The kiting is nice, but again, the Colossus doing so much. And Lemon, he should have this. GG gets called. He does catch out the army. He gets the confidence to take the fight, and Lemon will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Lemon does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if Lemon can claim another game here. Again, ByuN, he did have a very hard time maintaining his bases, maintaining his economy. Lemon was just so aggressive and so active on the map. Remember, he had 28 gates. He had 28 gateways, so going for non-stop Zealot run-wise, Dark Templar counterattacks as well. Lemon was being so aggressive on the map, and ByuN, he was somewhat keeping up, but not enough to preserve his bases. Not enough to preserve his bases. Not enough to preserve his economy. That's what killed him in the end. He had no economy. He had no income. He was overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. He was overwhelmed. And with that, one more game is all that Lemon needs to claim the series. Let's go. Here ye go. Getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion leading down in the series, and we'll see if we can bounce back. We'll see if we can make a series out of this. It is ByuN for Shopify. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. The Taiwanese Protoss leading the series 1-0, 1 game away from claiming the series and advancing onto the semis. It is Lemon. Mass is all he needs, but we're now getting into game number 2. And welcome one all to ByuN. So game 1 was on Tokamak, and we spoke about it, but game 1 was the more ideal game to force a longer game, to get into that mass-based economy where Lemon was able to overwhelm, was able to, for the most part, gain map control and maintain control over ByuN in that first game. I would say that it's more difficult to pull that off here. Whether it's on Pylon, whether it's on Ultra Love, this is a much more aggressive map of the map pool, and again, much more difficult for our Protoss player here to be aggressive, or to survive, to get up to 4 bases, and to get away with that. Aggression is favored here, and we see double gas opener out of ByuN. We're expecting a more aggressive build here out of our Terran player instead. So double gas into a faster factory, into faster tech. Ooh, as ByuN will lose the first SCV. That should not have happened. Uh-oh. Lemon getting into ByuN's head a little bit here. Already killing one worker. Nice start for Lemon. It's gonna be a nice start. I mean, again, Lemon, he should lose this probe. I mean, ideally gets hunted down by the Reaper. The factory is on the way. Here we go. Lemon does pull away. Go. Reaper does hit the main. We're still trying to keep an eye on the tech of choice. See what Lemon goes for. Likewise, CC on low ground. Remember, delayed TC. So far, we're going for the faster Widowmine into Widowmine drop. From here, we can go into early tech lab, into early tank production, early cyclone, or add-on swap into Banshee play. Show us what you got. As Reapers, they do get into the natural. Nicely done. 4 probes. 4 workers going down. Gets 4 workers, pulls away. Likewise, Mine Drop is in production. And and ByuN, he's already had a strong start. He's already had a strong start here, catching up 4 workers. And again, we're expecting more aggression, more activity here at ByuN. Lemon does go for his own Twilight Council. 2 more gates, so 3-gate blink. Again, a standard safe opener out of Lemon. Just because the opener is safe doesn't mean that he's going to be, though. Does get us around. It gets 1 more probe, but look at the trades here. 5 workers, 1 Stalker here for 2 Reapers and 1 Widowmine. So not a bad trade at all for ByuN. And here comes the drop. As the Widowmine drop is moving out. Production back at home. So 11 in position. Good response. Zone away. Tanks are amassing for ByuN. Curious. Did get the tech lab on the starport. I assumed that this would be for maybe a faster Banshee, but no, we're going for a faster Liberator. Does open up Liberator going into an add-on swap. Okay. So no Raven, no Banshee. Going into earlier Sim instead. Much earlier than last game. ByuN is going to be building up on 2 bases. He'll have an earlier stim timing. And we'll see if we'll see if Lemon can slow this down. Lemon did have a rough opener last game. If you remember, he did lose, what was it, like 5 Stalkers trying to retreat, trying to get across the map, or trying to run back across the map. So hopefully Lemon is a little bit more attentive this time. Once again, just following up with charge, as to be expected. He's going to be rushing into Storm. I say rushing, he's working towards Storm from here. Storm is on the horizon. I believe ByuN should hit first. I believe his timing here should hit before Storm, but it's going to be close. Likewise, remember, it's going to be on Lemon to slow this down. And here he comes. Here comes the on siege. Here comes ByuN. He rallies across the map. Lemon, he spots this. He does not get the, does barely not get the tank. 5 HP, 1 shot away from going down. Barely survives. My mortal's in. 6 pro kills. Ooh, Liberator in the main. 6 workers going down. Lemon does focus on one of the Widow Mines. Does barely get the other, but doesn't get the tank. Charge is complete. Stalker's coming in. Lemon, he can make a stand. ByuN, he doesn't like his chances. Get the hell out of here. Because the tank is so low, I didn't like his chances either. ByuN sitting up with the high ground instead. And Lemon holds. Lemon, he's holding on. ByuN throws down a 3rd CC. He does accept that he just cannot break his opponent. Now he expands. Ooh, and even going for a drop play. Okay. Drop into the main. Somewhat in position. Rotating over towards the left-hand side. Getting on top of the Nexus. Oh, the mine shots are brutal. And there's a messy defense here for Lemon. Losing a lot of Zealots. A lot of charges go down. Drop into the main the main base will be cleaned up. Okay, there are a couple of storms. Lemon rushing in. Takes down the first tank, takes down the second. He cleans this up. Whew, he does barely clean this up. Still at a cost though, that one Liberator's got 16 probe kills. Still going ham. Still popping up. And Lemon just sends it. He just sends everything across the map. Can he punish though? I mean, ByuN, sure he lost his Widow Mine, sure he lost his tanks, but he still has a pretty formidable army. Oh, we get an okay Storm. That Liberator is still alive, still out there. Nice Storm. Storm at Lemon. ByuN does finally expand. Lemon likewise getting a 4th base. His 4th base is late for Lemon. Is quite late. So overall, ByuN is in a better position. He has a better economy. He's got the larger army. And again, this time Lemon has less breathing room. Lemon needs something to go his way. He gets scanned. ByuN moving in. Going straight down mid. Lemon has to work through a minefield. Oof. Not gonna be pretty. Rushing on forward. We do get a decent storm. Okay, the storms, yeah, they're pretty decent. Lemon, he will force this back. And Lemon is holding. I don't think he can keep chasing this, but he's going for it. EMPs come in, nice EMPs. Yeah, they go stay punish. Oof. And Lemon did overextend. And moved out too far, losing the Immortal, losing the Archon. Ay, ay, ay. I don't like this. Yo, it's got 22 kills, no shot. I was gonna see the 16 kill Liberators back. Oh my god, finally he goes down. Insane amount of value here, that one Liberator. And ByuN, he's just overwhelming. He's just overwhelming here. As I mentioned before, just this map just favors ByuN so much, or favors the aggressing player. It's even that much more difficult for Lemon to stabilize. That's the power of Pylon. ByuN getting a 4th CC. This is where Lemon would need a 5th. He's still stuck on 4 bases. Lemon's still barely treading water. There's potential with the Zealot run, right? There's potential, I will say that at least. Oh god. That Nexus will not finish. Finishing up. Zealot run by gets a ghost, gets a couple of SCVs. Lemon out of position, he's all in. At this point, Lemon, he's completely all in. He's gonna go for it, he's gonna send it here and now. Spending a little DPS on the CC. Yeah, wasting DPS. My army sims in. Wants a Colossus, goes to the High Templar, and he gets everything. Yeah, at this point he should get everything. The Templar, the Archons, the Colossus as well. GG gets called, and ByuN, he does bounce back. Ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew, we are going to the ace match, and again, as we had assumed here coming into Pylon, aggression is heavily favored. Typically, Terran is more favored on Pylon because it can be more aggressive, more assertive. It is much more difficult for the defending Protoss to actually get away with a 4th and 5th base, and we saw ByuN just leverage that, able to apply pressure, able to not stop, and claim the game. GG. GG, well played. And we'll see what map 3 is going to be. That's what I'm most curious in here. Who's going to be favored coming into game 3? What map we're going to land on? Where are we dropping? Where are we dropping? Oh, as we're going to be loading into Persephone. This is a map of extremes. It actually reminds me a little bit of Ultra Love here, but the rush distance by ground, it's not as long as Tokamak or Maganatha, for example. You can get across the map quite quickly. I mean, the rush distance by air is shorter as well on Persephone as well, true. We got some healing pads, but specifically what's interesting about Persephone is the map layout, the base layout. Because of the base layout, it's actually a little bit easier to cut the map in half and force a split map scenario. We could find ourselves there again. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. Oh my jeez. Bottom left-hand corner, we have our Taiwanese Protoss player. We have our blue Protoss. It is Lemon. We got some updates. We'll get into it. We'll get into it after this match, after the series. We will get there. Whew. Until then, we're calming down. We're getting into the ace match here, and I'm curious to see how our players do approach game 3. As I mentioned before, Persephone is typically a map of extremes. If the game doesn't end early, then there's a high chance that we just go the distance. Do go all the way. As we do see ByuN going for an economic opener. Okay. Calming down, settling in. I see in the YouTube chat, who the heck is Lemon? Someone hasn't been watching StarCraft. Lemon, he's been competing for quite a number of years at this point. I would say Lemon came on the radar maybe during the COVID era of StarCraft, at least in my mind. That was back in like 2020, 2021. To be fair, you might not recognize Lemon if you were watching back then, just because Lemon was playing Zerg. Lemon, he has changed race over the past, 5 years of StarCraft, from Zerg to Terran to Protoss. He has stayed with the ID Lemon the entire time, so you should recognize the name. If you remember back then, we were always joking about Lemon and Zest teaming up and being on that Citrus team for 2v2 or Archon mode. One day, Pappy, one day. But yeah, he's been competing for many, many years at this point. I would say that if you didn't watch the regionals or the weeklies, then you wouldn't know him, right? If you only watch, if you only watch like BlizzCon, or if you only watch like EWC, or Esports World Cup or Dream Hacks, then sure you wouldn't be familiar with Lemon, especially because back then, especially, he was overshadowed by the other big Taiwanese players. The top three, the triad from Taiwan was Haas, Butterways, and Nice. The three of them, like they were the top three Protoss and top three players in Taiwan for a very long time. But over time, all three of them retired. But always Haas and Nice, they all three did retire. So in the absence of those three players, Lemon is now the best player in Taiwan. 100%. He's the best player in Taiwan. I mean, it isn't just that the other players retired, but he's also improved as well. Like, he's also improved. He's also gotten better over time, over the years. But yes, usually he was in the shadow of the other three, right? Of the other three Protosses in Taiwan. In their absence, he can thrive. True. Can thrive. Lemon's on a nice rating climb the last 2 years. Yeah, like as we're mentioning, right? Like, as in the absence of the other top Taiwanese players, like, Lemon has risen through the ranks. Has improved in recent years. True. Now ByuN is moving out. Jumping into the main. Going for a Cloak Banshee behind this. So far, Lemon is keeping up. He's keeping up his zoning back. And likewise, Cloak Banshees are on the way. So a cheeky follow-up here out of ByuN. So far, Lemon, he's unaware. He's moving out with the hallucination as we speak. At the same time, though, Lemon's getting distracted. Losing a Stalker. Again, the unload should not have happened. One Stalker goes down. Hallucination goes into the bases, and oh no, barely does count. Does confirm the research he sees. He knows that Cloak is on the way. Lemon is aware. Robo is halfway done. He needs a little bit more time here for detection. It's time for those observers. ByuN is moving in bottom right. Remember, Lemon, he's already aware. He's already aware of those Banshees. Bay is on the way. Not going into Storm, going to Colossus instead. And Cloak was cancelled. Okay. I was a little bit concerned because it wasn't an observer in position. But ByuN, after being scouted, did cancel Cloak. He got added Banshee production. Main army's moving in. And Lemon, he is not aware. You see he's fanning out some units. And again, Lemon, he has to slow this down. And, oh, doesn't quite get the Cyclone. Never mind. Never mind, does get it. Cyclone goes down. Bearing in mind that Stim is later this game just because of the prioritization of Banshees, of Cloak. And ByuN backs up. ByuN, he pulls away, he retreats. Meanwhile, Lemon is he's secure on 3 bases. He does need a 4th though. ByuN expanding on location. Quite greedy here by ByuN. Quite greedy. is being active. ByuN, he's was at least trying to be. Spots the army, backs the hell up, and we're slowing things down. Slowing things down, and we're locked in. If you remember earlier, leading up to Persephone, we spoke about how this map is a map of extremes. Either the game ends early, or we slow things down and we cut the map in half. And that's kind of the direction we're heading in. Like, we're heading in that direction, which I do feel like that benefits Lemon. Like, Lemon, he's going to be more benefited here. He's going to be able to max out, build up on 4, soon to be 5 bases, get into Storm, Colossus, look to max out. He's getting there, and that is where Lemon can thrive. That's where he can thrive. Now, you could argue that it's going to be a little bit easier here for ByuN to rotate in between his bases. True. A bit easier. So we're going to be here for a while. ByuN, he's turtling. ByuN, he's just turtling up. Getting a 4th. Getting into his own Viking production already. Getting into 2-2. Likewise, Lemon, I appreciate that he's double expanding. I do feel like his 5th base is late. So later 5th base here, but at least he's getting into a 6th as well. Working towards Dark Templar. And looking to max out. He's being active. Again, claiming his gold. ByuN likewise securing himself. Observer does get eyes on the main army, so Lemon should feel safe. Should feel relatively safe. Popping over storms, not quite able to connect. One Templar goes down. How many Vikings? So far 8. 8 Vikings for ByuN, both armies are maxing. Goes to expose. Doesn't quite commit though. Yeah, Lemon pulling away. Does pull away. Ooh, Vikings, they do collapse in. One Colossus already goes down. No, the army, no! The Immortals, they caught out. Massive pick off here, and Lemon, he will lose everything. That's what, 4 or 5 Immortals going down. His army out of position. Ideally, he wants some kind of buffer. Those are expensive losses there for Lemon. That was how many? That was 7 Immortals. 7 Immortals, 2 Colossus. They all go down straight away in the blink of an eye. And that might just be game. That might just be game then and there. One fight, sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes that's all it takes. ByuN taking a massive supply lead. And again, that should not have happened. Just a miscontrol there out of Lemon. Mispositioning. And he will lose everything. He will lose everything. Stalkers, they try to come in from behind. But again, they're being punished. And ByuN has done it. ByuN, he has done it. Breaks through the main army, breaks through the expansion. Again, Lemon, his arm will split in half. And not the correct way. And GG gets called. There's no defense, there's nothing to hold on back at home. ByuN will snowball out of control and take the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was a pretty passive game, all things considered. Like, we were slowly building up, slowly amassing our armies. But again, we saw that ByuN, he was able to catch out the army of Lemon. Lemon's army was split in half. He had no support for his Immortals, no support for the Colossus, no support for anything. GG. GG, well played. The army was cut in two, and ByuN does advance on to the next rounds. And I believe we already have our next series. Let's catch up.